The King, Namjoon. BTS with Run. That's the ballad version of that song. It's my favorite version of that particular song, and I've been meaning to play it for a very, very long time. And I think today is the perfect day for me to play it because I'm joined by two of my favorite ladies in the studio. That's Naz and Tag. Hello, guys.
Hello.
Let me see. Microphones. Okay, there and there. Say something.
Hi.
Oh, there we go. All of a sudden, I don't know how to do radio. Yeah. That's what it is. Naz and Tag, welcome to the studio.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for coming through. There we go. Thank you for coming through and hanging out with me on the K-pop sound system today. And I think when I started doing the K-pop sound system about maybe a year and a bit ago, you guys were the two people who took time out of your day to come and say hello to me and present me with Tia when it came out as well, which is something that I still treasure even today. So thank you for doing that.
Absolute pleasure. It doesn't feel like so long ago.
Yeah.
I can't believe it was more than a year ago now.
It was more than a year ago.
Yeah.
And since then, I mean, a lot of people even on the show accuse me of playing too much BTS.
You can never have too much BTS.
There's too much BTS. There are other groups. You know what I mean? How about you play, I don't know, a group that came out in 2002 that no one knows? How about you play them? You know what I mean? So
We play
everyone.
with the audience demands.
There you go. I like that you play what the audience demands, and the audience loves that BTS, and so we put it on. Plus, I'm a little biased because I love them too. 082-222-1049. That's the WhatsApp line. Get in touch with us. All right. Let us in on what you're up to on this Saturday afternoon. What you'd like to hear on the K-pop sound system. I want to see all the army, in fact, on the WhatsApp line. 082-222-1049. Let's go.
K-pop sound system.
But I don't understand what they say.
Listen, we'll talk about like where you guys started, how you got into BTS, and why BTS, out of all the K-pop groups that are out these days, why BTS, what got you into them. We'll find out from Tag and Naz from BTS ARMY ZA on the Twitter. That's BTS ARMY ZA. That's their Twitter. They run that. They do absolutely amazing things in Cape Town for that particular for BTS. So you should go and check that out. Let's talk about the beginnings of your love for BTS. When did it start? Was it 2-3 years ago, 4 years ago? How did it start?
Well, it was toward the end of 2017. And I distinctly remember Naz coming to me one day after work and saying to me, "You need to check this group out." And my response was, "No, thank you. I have enough obsessions in my life. I don't have room for any more." But she was quite persistent, and she kept sending me the same YouTube link daily, hour upon the hour. On every platform, email, WhatsApp, Tumblr. She was just stalking me. And eventually I gave in and I thought, fine, let me watch this thing.
Okay, I'll go later.
And then I watched it, and it was the most incredible thing I'd ever seen. It was Blood, Sweat and Tears, the music video, which at that point had been out for a little bit, of course.
Yeah.
And then, like all, I think, ARMY, you go down the YouTube rabbit hole that you never emerge from.
Yeah.
And you check out every BTS music video, every
Just
Run
keep going.
episode,
Yeah.
every Bon Voyage episode, every Bang Tan Bomb.
Yeah.
And here we are, like nearly 2 years later.
2 years later.
Yeah.
So Blood, Sweat and Tears did it for you. That was the one.
That was the one.
Yeah. And for you?
I think Blood, Sweat and Tears was the first video I saw, and then I saw DNA and I saw Mic Drop. And all three videos and songs are so distinctly different from each other. And I remember having this existential crisis with myself because I couldn't reconcile why I hadn't heard about them before and why it took me so long to find them. And then I was texting everybody I knew the link to the video, and I was like, "You just have to check this out. It's so great." But yeah.
That's what happens. Once you find something that you love, you got to let everybody know, right?
And now we're trying to turn everybody we know into an army.
Everyone in Cape Town to be an army. And you go at length to do that as well.
I do. My colleagues, my cousins, my family, my friends. I'm just like, here's something you need to see. It's going to change your life. But I also think we've both been fans of other boy bands when we were younger.
Yeah.
And there's just something special about this group. I think their message, their music, their philosophy in life resonates, I think, with young people and older people.
Yeah.
And as someone who loved other boy bands, I've never had this experience before where I feel connected to, I think, the artist and concerned and invested in their well-being and in their success and wanting to be a part of that success. And I just feel that years from now, people will look back at BTS like they do Elvis Presley and the Beatles, and we are the lucky ones who actually live in this time, who are experiencing it, just like other people will read about it. And I think that's super special.
Wow. It's Young Forever by BTS on the K-pop sound system. This is Tag's favorite, right?
Naz.
No, it's Naz's favorite. Naz's favorite song. Why do you love this one so much?
It's just such an emotional song,
Yeah.
and I think their trilogy, the most beautiful moments in life, that trilogy is my favorite trilogy to date for them.
Yeah.
And the song bookends that trilogy, and it's just beautiful.
It's just beautiful.
And I think Wembley also just made it super emotional when fans sang it back to them.
26 minutes past 4. Naz and Tag, they're in the studio with me. They are the biggest fans of BTS in the world. They do amazing work as well around Cape Town. Just before you came to the studio, you were at an event. Which was what was the event all about? It was organized by I Heart K-pop, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
A lovely lady named Lindy, who we met at the first ever Cup Sleeve event a week ago. Was it about a week ago? And she, like many of us, I think, wanted to create a space in which fans could get together and watch something live.
Yeah.
And fortuitously, BTS's final book-ended concert series for the Love Yourself tour is happening over this next weekend. So she got the live stream and she invited people, and people showed up in droves. So there was about 60 plus people there, and that's of course a fraction of the fandom in Cape Town.
Yeah.
But it was all she could accommodate for now. But it's great. Everybody had such a great time. And the fun and interesting thing for me was that you would expect it to be really young people.
Yeah.
But there was a 64-year-old lady there as well. There was moms with their kids and young people and older people, which I think is very indicative of BTS's fandom.
I mean, there is sort of an idea that that's floating around that K-pop is only for 16-year-olds most of the time, which is not true at all. You guys are not 16. I'm not 16 at all. You're very advanced in age, but you are into this group.
Yes.
And it's a fallacy, really, to say that.
I think there is a perversion around girls and young women and boy bands and the way that's perceived by society. I mean, men who are in their 60s and 70s who buy sports memorabilia and hang it above their bed is nowhere near what women who support artists who are talented, people don't view it in the same light.
Yeah.
It's kind of viewed as this frivolous activity.
Yeah, it's dismissed.
Yeah, and so I made a point of taking a selfie with a 64-year-old lady today because that was really cool.
Yeah. Naz and Tag, they're here. They are the biggest BTS fans in the whole wide world. Why do you guys think that BTS is special and just head above shoulders any other K-pop group?
I think it's a combination of things. I think their music, of course, speaks for itself. They make incredible music. But I think more than that, it's the package that they represent. It is music that is sincere from artists who write and create their own content. And then over and above that, I think it's this incredible relationship they have with their fans, which I think is unlike anything I've ever seen in fandom before.
Yeah.
There are many people who will unfortunately never ever get to see BTS live or walk by them in the street, but they have this way of making fans feel as though they are friends.
Yeah.
And I think that is really, really special.
That's special.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of the incredible music, the incredible work ethic and talent, and the relationship they have with their fans. And over and above that, of course, their messaging, which is just phenomenal.
It is phenomenal. Well, what do you say to the people that say, but you guys are from Cape Town, you don't even understand what they say?
Well, did anybody understand Despacito? No, they didn't. They heard a jingle, they loved it, they danced to it, and then they kind of just mimed along with what they thought the words were.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with Korean music. I think the biggest pushback I get from people is that they don't speak English or they don't sing in English.
Yeah.
But I think what this fandom has proven in the millions is that it's about the feeling the music evokes. And if you take the time to just Google translate the song, you will find that the messaging behind it is even more special. So I say to people, just give it a chance. Like, open your mind and listen to something that's outside of your comfort zone. You don't have to immediately know what it means. Close your eyes and just feel the music, and it moves you.
Who are your biases in BTS?
J-Hope.
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 Yes. And for you, Naz?
Jungkook. The minute he kind of twitched out from behind Jimin in blood, sweat and tears, I was lost. It took me a bit longer than the twitch, but yeah, no, J-Hope. The twitch did it for me.
The two lovely ladies from BTS ARMYZA on the Twitter, they're with me in the studio. You guys do so much for BTS, because I was talking to some of my co-workers the other day, and especially during Festa, because there was the bus that was driving around Cape Town with BTS draped all over it. And then one of my co-workers came in and said, Lunga, I saw your people.
Our people, yes.
He said, Lunga, I saw your people on a bus in town. Who did that? And I said, it's the two ladies from BTS ARMYZA. And they were like, it looks expensive.
It
That's
was.
the first thing. It looks expensive.
It was. We partnered with an amazing company who helped us make it happen. It was a very proud moment.
Yeah. So you guys always look to do something special around Festa?
I think when we started the account initially, the idea was that we just wanted to create a safe, happy space for people to come and talk about this band that they love and meet other people who also love this band that we all collectively love. And the way to reach other people is by putting stuff out there so people can ask questions and be curious and then find other people who love it. So a year ago, we did something at Canal Walk for Festa, and then this year we thought, well, we have to do something a little bit bigger. And when we chatted to an ad agency about it, they were like, bus. And we were like, well, many other people around the world have done it, but it's never been done here. So we were like, well, bus, we'll do
Let's
a bus.
do that.
And we had people running around the streets of Cape Town after this bus. It was incredible.
That's amazing.
That's so
I saw
fun.
the pictures popping up on the timeline of people taking pictures with this bus. New listener here, BTS DNA popped up on my timeline and got me into them and their music. It's always fascinating hearing people's stories around how they got into BTS or they got into K-pop in general. Tag and Naz still here with me in the studio. Listen, the age-old question that gets asked all the time on the Twitterverse. Did BTS pave the way?
So, from the pseudo malt in the room, I will say BTS definitely paved the way. Paved the way, definitely.
Yeah.
No, for sure. I think, and I don't even necessarily think it's a matter of, who came before whom. I just think their record speaks for itself. What they've managed to achieve domestically and internationally speaks for itself. And I think their music is clearly beloved by millions around the world. So they're definitely paving the way.
With what you just said now, a lot of people would say that you're dismissing bands like Big Bang, 21.
I think the point that people miss is that, the OG K-pop bands had huge followings and they were big in Korea and they were big perhaps in Asia, and there was definitely interest in the West. But BTS has pretty much become a household name in the West. You can ask anybody on the street more or less who's BTS, and maybe they haven't listened to their music, but they'll go, oh, I saw them on the Ellen DeGeneres show, or I saw them on Saturday Night Live. So people know who they are, which unfortunately is something that those other bands never achieved. It doesn't take away from what they did achieve at the time that they achieved it.
Yeah.
Or make them any less talented. But I think BTS is now spearheading the Hallyu wave, spreading Korean culture, music, interest in the country. Tourism has skyrocketed. I think 1 in 5 people who visit Korea cite BTS is the reason for visiting. So it
sounds like power to me.
It's undeniable.
Listen, ladies, thank you for coming through and hanging out.
Thank you for having us. Yes, it's been fun.
There's a tag BTS ARMYZA. That's the Twitter. These guys, they do everything that they can to make sure that the gospel of BTS goes far and wide in SA, especially in Cape Town. Listen, I appreciate the work that you do. Keep doing it. And hopefully we'll see BTS come to SA soon.
Thank you. And I think the only thing I want to say in closing is a massive thank you, I think, to all the South African fans out there, people who support our account, people who don't support our account but support the band. Everything we do, I think, is in service of spreading that message, and that is the one thing we all have in common. So a huge shout out to the fandom.
There you go. There you go. Did you anything to say?
No, just thank you to you for playing BTS on radio reliably every single Saturday.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. You are one of the few people we did not have to beg and plead to play their music.